Hey, Cancer placements. Hey, we are talking about what or who you need to release right now to change things around. So, welcome here. Keep in mind that this message is not for everybody. So, take what resonates and leave the rest. All right. Mandrake. Mandrake. Obsession. Obsession. Yeah. Obsession. Some of you obsessed to the point of worry, instead of letting go of what you cannot control. You kind of hold on to it and let it take over your thoughts and your mind. Yeah. So this is a new deck. So of course I am going to read it, and this deck here is the Deadly Apothecary. So Mandrake, the poison. Mandrake finds the feeling of falling in love intoxicating and gets bored with when things become stable. Oh shit. They are obsessed with the first flush of new relationship and will seek a dopamine hit time and time again, quickly discarding lovers and friends in search of the new, shiny, and different. It's understandable. They want to replicate that delicious feeling many times, but it comes at a huge cost to the well being of the people in their of destructive path and eventually to their own well being. They will never, ever be satisfied. Wow. Cancer placements. Do you have an insatiable appetite for falling in love or that new feeling, that newness of a new relationship or a new friendship? Hmm. Obsession. The number 26 may be of importance to you, or the number 8. Let's go a little deeper here with the tarot. Obsession. Okay. Mm. 9 of Swords. Interesting. Knight of Wands. Yeah. Strength. Okay. One more. 6 of Swords. Yeah. This has become, a problem because there is that obsessive um tendency, up into the point of, impulsivity, and it seems to have a stronghold on you. Yeah. We with the 8, not the 8, but the Knight of Wands here, you're somebody like the descriptor says, somebody who tends to move on when things become stable. The passion is gone. You don't see it as fun anymore. Um, and you quickly move on. You move on. And unfortunately, there are people who have been hurt by you, and you just see it as, well, the fizzle is gone. You just see it as, um, yeah, I got nothing. I'm just doing me, right? What else? What else? Okay. Seven of Pentacles. Mm. Eight of Swords. Six of Cups. Listen, with the Eight of Pentacles here, it would help if you would see the benefits if you just stick around and, you know, actually pay attention to the work you put in. You would benefit. The people around you would benefit if you just stuck around and see the benefit of the work, the love, the time that you put into people, because there is a return. It comes back to you, especially when you're good to folks. But, you know, with the Eight of Swords here, is something that you have to put into practice. You have to want to get out of it, because this is your decision. You see this young lady here, she's bound by bandages. And the swords are behind her, and all she has to do is like do a little jiggle, do a little wiggle, and she's out of that shit. Yeah. There are plenty of people around you who you have sown into, you have poured into, and they've poured into you as well. And there are some people that you should probably go back to, um, and make amends, like a real apology, not one of those things where you say, "I'm sorry if I da 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 da." No, that if I basically negates anything that comes after "I'm sorry" or "I apologize." It's one of those things where, you have to take ownership, accountability of what you've done. Things will be so much more fulfilling if you stuck around and actually watch the seeds that you plant grow. And honestly, the obsession of finding something new and that dopamine hit, it can be a blockage of your abundance. And we're not just talking financial abundance. We're talking, spiritual growth. We are talking mental abundance. We are talking all the aspects of abundance. Now, we're not saying that you need, if somebody mistreated you and continuously does that, to go back round and take the shit that they were dishing out. That's not what it's about. This is about you and the folks that you have left in your wake, the folks that you leave up at night and they're wondering, what did I do to cancel placement? Why they just put me on block? Yeah. So the antidote for Mandrake. Remember, that's what we're talking about. The obsession, the antidote. Mandrake is advised to spend more time alone because the constant distraction of intense relationships bypasses the important work of getting to know themselves. Once they know who they are and what they truly want, they will stop lurching from one meaningless relationship to the next and start focusing on what really matters in front of them. Obsessions will fall away and inner peace will settle in. All right. Spirit says you need to spend some time by yourself. Get to know who you really are. And you know what? It's not that bad. There is there is some work that needs to be done. A lot of people don't like to hear their own thoughts and to be with themselves, but you find out so much more about yourself, you know, who you really want to be around, who you really want to invest in, you know? Yeah, this makes sense. I hope this helps, Cancer Placements. Please like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell on the YouTubes. Hit the follow button on the IGs. And until next time, Cancer Placements. Bye.